issues join the team. So that is why I want to crave your indulgence to give us like about another 2 minutes more. So that will give a grace of 5 minutes. And I can see that the number keeps on increasing. So like I said, so that is why I'm asking for that. So once it is 10:05, the program shall commence accordingly. Thank you very much. Whatever way you believe, in whatever way you believe, you can pray to our Creator. So be you a Muslim or non-Muslim, be you a Christian or non-Christian, and in whatever faith. So let's have 1 minute of silent prayer. Thank you very much. Without wasting much of our time, let us comment this by giving you a brief introduction of our company, ABK. I want to use the name ABK, which is the acronym of our company. So ABK, it's a registered company. We'll say, you see ABK Global. So it is a registered company, and we look forward to covering the entire globe. But at the moment, ABK is registered in the United Kingdom as ABK Consultancy Limited, registered in Nigeria with RC number as ABK Alliance Limited. Our website is abkglobalgroup.com. So if you go online and you check abkglobalgroup.com, so it brings you everything that we do. But let me just give you a brief summary of what we do. We are into training and development. We are into educational development, re-engineering process. We are into procurement, and a lot of things. When you get into our website, you know more about what we do. Now, without much ado, let us go into today's business, which is part of what we do, because there are a lot of challenges that we are facing, even like in our own country, Nigeria, and as well globally. So, and there are ways that we can bring in our expertise or the lacking expertise to social, economic, technological advancement. So in this case, ABK Alliance Limited, ABK Consultancy Limited, ABK Global now organizes different type of certificate training, different kind of training to develop people in economic, social, technological, and the likes development. So in this case, today we are introducing you to certified Scrum Master training tester. This is a tester, just like an introduction. When you are, just like, I don't know, when you go to stores, some other stores, like those of us in diaspora. So when a product is about to be introduced, you see they'll bring it to the store and they will just bring it out and they will just give you a brief introduction. So it's more or less like a tester. So they'll just give you a bite of it, so that when you see it, and there's a saying that res ipsa in Latin, res ipsa loquitur, that the fact speaks for itself. Now, the person that will do justice to this is our CEO, Chief Executive Officer of ABK Global. No other person than Mr. Abdulateef Babatunde Kuku. Mr. Abdulateef Babatunde Kuku, let me just give you a brief background of his expertise. Is a graduate of computer science who holds masters in computer science, artificial intelligence. So people can see it now, what is going on. For somebody to have had that kind of experience over 20 years ago, to have studied that over 20 years ago, and you can see what artificial intelligence is doing now. For those of us who know about GPT chat and the likes, so a lot of things. So in this case, he's a certified Scrum Master, he's a certified business analyst, and when it begins to talk now, so I won't need much of introduction. So the idea of ABK was conceptualized when years ago, when Mr. Babatunde Kuku thought that, okay, for those of us, we have studied, and there are a lot of people who are not exposed to a lot of things that he is exposed to internationally, globally. And we have to give back to people so that they said the best person is who has a knowledge and imparts that knowledge on people. So it's one of the reasons why we are organizing this. So now I want to introduce to you Mr. Abdulateef Babatunde Kuku. Please pardon me before he speaks. Before any programs, like this is put up, we have a lot of people, the team. But I want you just to, because we have wasted about 5 minutes, so which we should have done that. So maybe after the business of the day, we can introduce every other person to you. So happy hearing. So I have the honor to introduce to you our speaker for today, Mr. Abdulateef Babatunde Kuku. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Aguro. Thanks for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Just want to confirm you can hear me clearly.
Yeah,
Although my background
might
not be that feasible enough, but kindly manage it with me. I'm just trying to manage a space here. Like Alaji Aguro said, my name is Abdulateef Babatunde Kuku, with years of experience in project management, particularly in software development lifecycle. So I've worked in Nigeria, in UK, Canada, and the rest. This morning, we're bringing to you another arts profession that is really prevailing around the globe now, which is called Scrum Master. As he said, this is just a taster. After this taster, we'll be having a training with certification that'll be coming up. I think is the most time, but they'll give you more information about that. To start today, firstly, let me know if you can see my screen, please.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, thank you. So today we'll be covering a lot, and I was given 30 minutes, but I'll try to do justice to the topics I have here. So we'll be covering what is agile methodology, a Scrum role in Scrum, Scrum Master himself, facilitate as a Scrum Master, the Scrum process, the Scrum Master as a coach, tools of the Scrum Master as a coach, authority, personal characteristics, servant leadership, effective Scrum Master, who can be a Scrum Master. So who can be a Scrum Master will make you to decide on your own to say, okay, is this something that really suits me? Is this something that I have the capacity to go for? Is this something I'm really interested in? So I want us to pay attention, because this will give us the leeway for us to decide if it's a profession of choice or not. Let me start by explaining what an agile is. Or let me firstly start with introduction of what a project management is all about, or project methodology. Project management is all about the methodology or framework of project execution from initiation to when the product is live. When we say project management, projects can be any sort of anything that comes up as our idea of getting something out there, either to satisfy ourselves or to satisfy our customer. So the process at which that product went through for it to be made available for whoever that will enjoy it is regarded as a methodology. Now, in project management, traditionally we use PPM, and in project management, the frameworks are basically divided into, let's say, 3 or 4 frameworks. Firstly, we have what we call V model. We have spiral framework. Then we have waterfall, before the latest one, which is regarded as agile. Many of us might be more familiar with the word waterfall. And some, if not all of us, might as well be familiar with the word agile, agility, sort of. Now, these two are the most common one, but one is the latest one, which is agile. Agile methodology is an alternative to a traditional project management methodology. That traditional ones are those ones I earlier mentioned, which was a spiral, V model, and waterfall itself. Now, it is used, agile basically is being used in software development environment. That was before. But now things have changed over, that not only in software development lifecycle, people are using agile now, because within agile, we have what we call lean management embedded into it. If time permits, or if you're able to join the training, I'll be able to talk more about that. It helps team respond to unpredictability through incremental iterative work sequence known as sprint. What do they mean by that? What do they mean by this? Is when a project comes in, the idea comes in. Now, the team responsible will now decide which method they want to use. Let's agree where we want to use agile. What it means using agile or being agility is for you to be able to divide this project into sequence of tasks that will be accomplished within short period of time, will enable the stakeholders, which include the manufacturer itself and the customer, to be satisfied, to get something out of it within short period of time and with a reasonable amount of money being spent. Agile methodology are alternative to waterfall or traditional sequential development. Now, in agile methodology, we have 2 basic ones there. We have what we call Kanban and we have what we call Scrum. The two are somehow similar. It's only the mode of implementation that differs. But today, we only focus on Scrum. So what is a Scrum? It is a framework within which people can address complex adaptive problems while productively and creatively delivering products of the highest possible value. That's what I've explained earlier. A project idea comes in, very big idea. Now we look at it and say, okay, how are we going to go about this? How do we want to develop this product that will be able to meet the quality, time, and cost? Those 3 factors have to be put into consideration: quality, time, and cost. Time is very important. Time in that you need to get this product out as soon as possible for your customer to enjoy it. The cost has to be very reasonable, and the quality must never be compromised. Those 3 factors are a basic part of Scrum. It is one of the many iterative and incremental software development agile process for managing product development. Like I said, the idea of agile comes from software development lifecycle. Now, like I said earlier, people are now been adopting it into a lot of things. In manufacturing now, people are using agility. Now, it is based on multiple small teams working in an intensive and independent manner. Sorry. The team in the organization work together while constantly focusing on their common interests. What does it mean? Is that you have a product. Let me give you an instance. You have a product to develop. Let's take, for instance, we want to build a house. Now, as we all know, if you want to build it out, the first thing you do is, firstly, you have to look for a land to buy. A committee will be formed within the project team. The idea has come up that we want to build let's say we want to build a shopping complex or shopping mall. Now, the first thing we need to do is set up a committee that will go out there and look for the best location for this building to be constructed. Now, you can say they form a small committee. That's the first part. Go there and go out there and look for the best location. Now, they are tasked with going out there, look for the best location, look at the cost of it, and in a timely manner. Those ones that team is one of the teams of Scrum. Now, another team will be formulated within that project team, as well as, okay, let's start thinking about the logistic. What other things do we need to put in place to get, as team A is doing their own task, team B will be doing their own task. Every one of them will be working together and come back to relate the information they got. Where they relate that, I will explain that later. So this ability to break down the task, to break down the project into smaller units that can be undertaken by a particular set of people is known as Scrum. Now, the role in Scrum. I mentioned now, I said some will be divided, go and look for location. Some will be tasked with the responsibilities of, okay, start thinking about what do we need to put in place. How much do we need for this project? What and what do we need to get this project implemented? Now, for us to do that, number one, we need product owner. Product owner decide what we do. In traditional project management, it was formerly called project manager or project manager. But in Agile now, they don't call them project manager. They regarded to them as product owner. The difference between product owner and project manager is that project manager in a traditional way will work directly with the stakeholder and work directly with the stakeholder and as well with the project team. Now, product owner on his own is representing, in Agile, is representing the interest of the stakeholders, not working with them, but representing the interest of the stakeholders to decide what needs to be done. What it means is this. The idea of product owner comes to be because of the availability of the stakeholders. In project management, one of the big obstacles or issues we normally have is the availability of stakeholders. Most times, the project is ready, everything is ready, but the stakeholder is not there. Due to one reason or the other, they might not be available for you to get what you need. And this delays the project. Remember, I mentioned three things, three cogent qualities, which is time, cost, and quality. Time-wise, you need to get this thing out as soon as possible. When the project owner, when the stakeholder is not there, definitely is going to delay the project and as well going to increase the cost of the project. So that idea of having a product owner that will be assigned to that project, that will be available at all time when it's needed, came to be. Now the next is the team. The team will now be those ones that will now take care of what we need to do. You understand that? What we need to do. They will be responsible, tasked with that responsibility of what I need to do as my own deliverables. They are the one, like the example I gave you, that will go out there, look for the best location. In software development, they will be the one to now start thinking about, okay, what do we need to do? Oh, I'm a developer. What type of developer do we need? We need front end, we need back end, we need tester that will be able to test. What environment do we need? They start thinking about every necessary things that they need to make the products available with good quality. Now, the next role is called Scrum Master. Who is a Scrum Master? Who will help us to do it? Is the ones charged with the responsibility to guide us through the implementation of the project. Now, a Scrum Master is not any of the followings. He's not a team leader. Like I said earlier, he's never a project manager. He's not a line manager, or neither is on an easy role. He's not most experienced team member. Someone with authority over team's member is none of this. What I mean by he's not a team leader. He doesn't own any team. He's not a project manager, because I've explained the role of project manager and the role of Scrum Master and the role of product owner. He's not a line manager, because basically nobody is reporting back to him. If you're a line manager, you have people or some colleague reporting to you, that you take the responsibility of monitoring, guiding them, leading them to what they need to do. He's not a line manager. And Scrum Master role is not an easy role. I'll explain that to you. Now, he's not the most experienced team member. No. He's someone that's ready to develop himself within that project. Because mostly in some projects, the team is being formed. We have something we call squad. In Agile now, we call it squad. Squad basically is a new technique being used in project management now. When a project initiation comes in, they will form a squad. That squad is basically for that project. In some organizations, once the project is completed, they dissolve that squad. What they mean by squad is they bring together everyone, all people involved to implement this project. That formation is called a squad. Now, once that is formed, it doesn't mean all those in that group knows a lot about the project or they had most experience. No, they just bring people together so you can bring your fresh idea, new idea into this implementation of the project. And they're not someone with authority over other team members that, yeah, I have authority to do this, No. Now, Scrum Master is a coach. Is what? Is a coach. What it means by a coach is someone with ability to guide, someone with this oratory quality that can talk to people and make them to move at the speed you want them to move, to implement things. One of the basic and the most important part of the job of a Scrum Master is to resolve impediments. What do we mean by impediment? Bottlenecks, issues, obstacles within a project. Every project will surely has is bottleneck, one issue or the other to resolve. Even at home, if you try to implement anything or you try to do some things, you surely say there will be some things that will, how are we going to do this? I don't know how to do this. Someone who should be there to now help you to pick that thing up and now try to look for solution. It's not that he has the solution himself, but he will be the one to say, okay, don't worry, give me that problem, I'll go after it and get it solved for you and I'll bring it back. And someone that can go extra miles for others to get their problem solved. Now facilitate the team. There's something we call daily stand-up meetings, Scrum meeting being done in the morning. It's the role and responsibility of Scrum Master to gather everyone within that project team together and ask them what they've done yesterday, what they will be working on today. If there's any issue, any impediment, he asks them, do you have any issue? Is there anyone with any obstacles? Is there anyone with any issue that needs to be solved? If you all say no, proceeded. If you say yes, you ask you and say, give it to me. Let me go and look for solution. Because of time factor. In project management, I do normally say this to my team. If you're working on a project, you come across any issue, please don't hold on to it. There is someone within your team that's been tasked with that responsibility. If you are working on Agile, if you're not working on Agile, if a business analyst or developer or whatever role you're playing within that project, take it back up to whoever that will help you, because the time is clicking, time is running against every one of you. If you're holding to it, definitely it will count against you. And at the end, when we're doing what we call sprint review, you'll be held responsible for that. And that will not be a good experience. Now, ensure Scrum is used as intended. Scrum is used as intended means that there is in Scrum, we have what is called Scrum planning. Once the sprint planning, once you've planned the sprint, you've allocated the time. You said this sprint is going to cost us 2 weeks. That sprint is a minimum task. We call it minimum viable product that can be delivered within short period of time. Now, within that, the Scrum Master role is there for him to ensure everyone is abide to what needs to be done. You are not out of, and there's no any forces from outside that are influencing or disturbing the activities that the tasks you need to work on. Is the role of a Scrum Master to stand in there for you. If anyone is asking you, oh, Mr. Susu, can you pick this up for me? If it's not part of what you are meant to work on, is the responsibility of the Scrum Master to tell him or her to say, no, this is not part of what he's supposed to be doing. He has this task to be done, and within so period of time, which need to be accomplished. Remember, those three things: time, cost, and quality. Now, that's where I'm talking about protect the team. Protect the team from every external or internal factor, even within the project. There can be some people that will be assigning some things to you. Please, can you help me pick this? Is it part of my role? Is it something I need to do? Everyone has to be well focused. Focus on the task assigned to you. Anything that would distract or cause any delay to you, please throw it out to the Scrum Master for him to pick. That is one of the roles of the Scrum Master. I'm conscious of the 30 minutes given to me. Facilitate as a Scrum Master. I've said in the daily stand-up meeting, he facilitates all ceremonies. Ceremonies start from what we call sprint planning, daily stand-up meeting, and we have what we call sprint review, and we have what we call sprint retrospective. Those 4 ceremonies being facilitated by the Scrum Master. Manage the discussion. In the daily stand-up meeting, the Scrum Master role is for him to manage everyone, every member of the team. With this, the daily Scrum meeting is being done for 15 minutes, and in which everyone is expected to tell them what they've done yesterday, what they'll be working on today, and if there's any issue. The Scrum Master must ensure you don't speak more than 1 minute, or you don't continue telling us stories. You have to be very concise. Ensure that people keep the right focus. I've explained that all. That nothing should distract you. It's the role of the Scrum Master to ensure that it's done. Process the meeting result. Whatever that comes out from the meeting, Scrum Master has to communicate that to the whole team, even to external stakeholders that has 1 or 2 influence on the project. If there's any impediment, if there's any issue, he or she needs to communicate that out as soon as possible. Time is a greater factor here. You shouldn't waste any time. For anything, you pick it up and disseminate the information to whoever that might be affected. Facilitate retrospective meetings. After the project is delivered, there's something we call retrospective, sprint retrospective. What they mean by this is we pick, there is a forum where everyone involved in that project will come together, and there will be discussion about what do we do well, what we need to improve on, and what we need to continue doing. Those three things needs to be discussed. What have we done well in this project? And it's the role of the Scrum Master when the project commences, immediately the project commences. There's a template the Scrum Master will have and be recording. They call it lesson learned template. We're recording what we've done well. Put it there. You don't wait until the end of the project. You miss a lot. You might miss a lot of things. What we've done well, you write it. Each day, you'll be looking at what we've done well, what we lack in doing or what we didn't do well. You put that down as well. And what we should continue practicing. That is called retrospective. And that lesson is brought into another sprint because it's a lesson learned. You can bring it, you can reuse that into your next lesson, into your next sprint so that you won't repeat the mistake you made earlier on. Facilitate communication between teams and the product owner. Like I said earlier, product owner happens to be someone representing the stakeholders. Mostly in most of your meetings, you might not see the stakeholder there. Sometimes they might come in, some projects you might not even see any of the stakeholders. The product owner will be representing them. Now it's the role of the Scrum Master now to communicate what is going on within the team to this product owner, catching up with him. In what we call sprint review, you present what you've done to that level and show it to him or her and say, this is where we achieved and this is where we're going. Now, establish and manage agreement within the team. Not only managing agreement within the team, at least at times you manage conflict as well. Because there might be some issues. Most times it does happen. And a Scrum Master must be someone that can resolve issues within your team. You don't allow it to escalate and become very big to manage. Immediately you sense anything, you need to jump onto it. Like I always say, time is a great factor there. Now, what do we regard it as Scrum? Yeah, people talk about Scrum, agility. What does it mean? What's the process look like? Now, you can see from here, it starts from product backlog. Product backlog, what we mean by product backlog here, it comes from project ideation. I have the idea of developing a product or a website for our company that our customer can go in there, pick their product wherever they want, submit into the cart, and make the payment. That's e-commerce platform. Okay. Someone else said, "Oh, I want our service to be. I want to develop a product that can enhance a particular part of our product again." That's another ideation. Someone submitted it. Someone else said, "Oh, this is month of July. Month of July, we can do mid-year sales. We're going to reduce our product by 30%. So 30%, 70%, then that's another idea. Every one of them will submit all their idea in this product backlog. Once it is submitted, now the product owner will pick it up. There's a particular form being used to do this. There's a template that you go in there, you put in all your idea, what you are looking at, and it will now be reviewed. It will now be reviewed by product owner and stakeholders. And there's something we call prioritization will come in. That prioritization will enable them to look at those items, those products submitted, and now they will now prioritize it. Please, moderator, can you help me mute, please? So product owner will now look at that and pick one out of it. Once one has been picked, they will now call it a sprint. They'll start planning on it. Please, can you help me mute, please? Can we all mute, please? So sprint planning will now be, now a particular project has been selected, then we now look at how do we want to embark on it. With this.
Sorry, excuse me, Mr. You was your last word, then. Can you please mute?
Now, once the sprint is being picked from there, there will be discussion on what we need to do. Now, they will now call the person that submitted the request. And what do you want to achieve here? It will now go, it will put them through that this is my motive, this is what I want. And this, you must have a justification, financial justification to say, for doing this, it's going to benefit the company with so amount of money for that, because the company is going to spend money to execute it. So you must be able to justify to me as a business owner to say, okay, for this idea you bring it to me, it's going to save me, or I'm going to make so number, I'm going to make so amount of money out of it. If you are asking me to reduce or to make sales, to reduce the cost by 30%. So what is the actual cost of the product? I'll be asking you that. So at the end of the day, what benefit is it going to have for me? So you make this justification. Once it passed, I'm ready to sponsor it. Then they will put it in a sprint backlog. They will put in what? Sprint backlog. In sprint backlog, now it has now been agreed that this is going to be executed. Now, they will now assign team to it. You see, they assign team that will be working on it. Sprint is normally within 1 to 4 weeks maximum. That's reasonable. Like I said, time is a factor here. Within 1 to 4 weeks, anything out of 4 weeks is too big. What they normally looking for out of this sprint, out of this project, we have to break it to minimum viable product. That's called MVP, minimum viable product. That MVP must be delivered within this window frame, within that 4 weeks. Sometimes depends on how big it is. Some might be delivered within 2 days. Some might be delivered within 3 days, but maximum shouldn't exceed 4 weeks. If it exceeds 4 weeks, that means it has to be breaking down again. Now it goes through the daily activities. Continue first week, second week, third week. Once it's third week, fourth week, we have what we call sprint review. Sprint review is when we now sit back. If we are planning 4-week sprints, the sprint review is regarded as mid-sprint, which is 2 weeks, because we are planning 4 weeks. So our mid-sprint will be what? Will be 2 weeks. So at that 2 weeks, we all sit down together with the product owner, with the Scrum Master, and the product team. Every one of us will sit down. What we're trying to do at that point is for us to show the product owner what we've achieved so far. Are we in line with what he or she wants? If it's yes, we continue. That is one of the benefits of Agile. If at that particular point in time, they realize, no, this is not what I want. What I want should be able to do A, B, C, D, E, F. But what you've given me can only do A, B, C. So I need more. Now they go back. What they go back to do is to rescope. We call it rescoping. They go back again. This gives them ability to review the product before it goes live. Unlike waterfall. In waterfall, we don't have all this sprint review. They don't review anything. They started from beginning and end it until when it's done, tested, ready to go live, or even gone to live before they now say, oh, this error, I don't want this, you've made mistake. A lot of times has been wasted, a lot of money has been wasted as well. The quality is of no use to them. Now, but in Agile, this phase of it gives them the ability to readjust or to redo some things within the project before it's now say, okay, it's ready. Once they've gone through this, then it's finished. After the product is gone live, it's okay, the product is ready, it's gone live, deployed to the customers, then they will now come back and have what we call sprint retrospective. Now, the next one is Scrum Master as a coach. The team, on the team part, the Scrum Master help the team member resolve conflicts. I've said that. Not only facilitating, but able to resolve conflict within the team. A conflict that is not resolved within a short period of time is going to affect the product. And part of it is that ability for you to identify, even without reporting to you, able to identify something is not right. And that's why every day, they must be reporting. There's some discussion going on now. Is it even proper? Is it good time management for us to be having daily Scrum meeting? Some said no. Some say you can be having it twice or 3 times in a week. Some say yes, because it's called daily Scrum meeting. The essence of that is this: for you to be able to identify if there's any issue, whatever it might be, no matter how small it is, to pick it up and get it resolved. Conflict between team members and the product owners or stakeholders. At times, it might be between the developers, it might be between your manufacturing team with the product owner or on the production line. The ability for the Scrum Master to jump in and pick this up and resolve it, get everybody together in a room and work things out and look for a way forward. Now, another one to the team is educate new team members in the Scrum process. Because at times when you're working on, you might see the need to add more people to your team as you're going on, because that's one of the beauty of Agile. It's very iterative. You can increase, you can decrease as you're moving on. If you don't need so-so person, you don't need to keep him in the project. You drop him. If you need so-so person to come in, or you need this skill set to come in, you add that person in at the time when you need them. You don't bring them all in and start paying when they're doing nothing. Unlike Waterfall, yeah, you gather everybody you need, you start planning that, this and that. At the end of the day, I don't need this and you started paying already. No, this Agile look at what is viable. What actual thing do I really need? You need to have that discussion within yourself and identify those whom you need and whom you don't need. If you don't need me in this project, after 2 weeks, you drop me, you let me go. You had another person, you identify, you base your team on their skill set or what is applicable to that product at that time. Now, guide the team to high performance. That's your role. You must guide them to high performance. Ensure things are running smoothly. Ensure nothing stops them from delivering within that time frame you allocated for that sprint to go out. Coach the product owner. Most times you'll be having a lot of discussion with this product owner, communicating with this product owner. Product owner will want to know what is going on with the project. And you don't hold to any information. Any information, no matter how small it is, release it. Let people know what is going on. Communication is one of the main factors in Agile framework. You communicate. Don't be tired of it. To the organization as well. Like normal practice I do as a person, I have what we call weekly communication. By Friday, yesterday, I will send out a weekly note to explain the status of all our tasks, everything we're doing. So when you don't find any information or you are confused about information, you go in there and check before coming to me, because coming to me might distract me, might waste my time. So on Fridays, every Friday before end of the play, I put something there. This is where we are, and these are the plan for next week. If there's any blocker, I put it there. These are the blockers we're having. So as a product owner, as a Scrum Master, as a team member within that project, You all are aware about what is going on. So the tools of the Scrum Master as a coach. Powerful question. You must be the type of person. Please, at this stage, please start judging yourself. Is this something I would like to do? Is this something I have the capacity to do? Is this something I have the skill set for? This profession is not about knowing how to code or I must have a special skill. No. Those are what you need. Be able to ask powerful questions. Not that provocative, but very diligent question that you can ask people and get what you need from them. We call it probing questions. Probe them to get the fact from them. Be the type of person that have a common sense, which sometimes they say is not common. Very flexible. Flexible in the sense that if you're within your team, within the tasks you're performing, be ready to switch within, because you'll be dealing with product owner, you'll be dealing with the developers, which comprises of the different type of devs, we call them. The front end, the back end, and the rest like that. And you'll be dealing with the testers, and you'll be dealing as well with what we call UAT, user acceptance testing team, that will be set up. So ability for you to switch within that, be flexible, and be able to give every one of them your attention is very important. Understanding and knowledge of Agile and Scrum. That's the basic thing you need. You must have good understanding of Agile. What is Agile? How does it work? What does it entail? And what is Scrum? As a Scrum Master, what are my roles? What are my responsibilities? What are the skill sets I need to do? Who and who do I need to talk to? How do I carry out my daily activities? How do I see myself to be the best? Powerful observation. That comes in where I said, you don't close your eyes to anything. You open your eye and shine your eye, like normally say, and be able to pick any slightest issue and get it resolved within a short period of time. Sorry, I'm cautious of time. What the Scrum Master has no authority of. He doesn't have authority over the salary. He can't decide your salary or bonus or secondary benefits. They don't have authority over it. They don't hire or firing people. It's not their role. Basically, everything HR related, they have nothing to do with it. Your role is just for you to guide the project to successful end. That's just your role. Nothing concerns you about salary. So they might come to you for feedback on the project. You can give feedback. Particularly in an organization where they are having what we call review. We have mid-year review, we have end of the year review. They might come to you and say, okay, you've worked with so-so developer, what can you say about him? That will determine their bonus or salary increment. As a Scrum Master, yeah, you can do that. You can write a recommendation and say, okay, I've worked with him, he's so-so person, he does this. But that does not mean you can influence their salary. We only give them their own feedback. You only give them your own feedback on that person you work with. Now, the Scrum Master needs to be open-minded. These are the skills. Unbiased. Servant leader. Do you hear that? Servant leader. Servant leader. What does this mean? You are an errand boy. You are what? An errand boy. They come to you in the morning, they give you report, they do this, but a good Scrum Master hardly sits. Their seat is always very cold because they are always on their feet, running around for everyone, looking after their team member, looking after the dev, looking after the tester, looking after everyone, ensure nothing is left undone. So if anyone has any issue, what is that? They throw it at you. You pick it up and start running to get the solution. Like I said earlier, if you're having any problem, don't hold to it. Throw it to him. That is his job. Let him go and run around. I do normally listen to the business analyst. I say, if you are given any task to do and you don't get solution to it, throw it back. Don't hold to it. Let them go and resolve it. Until when they come back, then you continue. If it takes them 2 weeks, good. If it takes them 3 weeks, if it takes them 1 minute, good. But don't owe to it, because if you owe to it, the timing will be against you, because they'll say, okay, you collected this tax on Monday and today is Wednesday. What have you done? I couldn't do anything because I was having this problem. Would you say that too? On that Monday, immediately you'll notice something is not right. Raise your voice. Tell the Scrum Master, Mr. So, I'm having this issue. Can you get it solved? Go and sit down and be relaxing until when he get back to you. So that's his job. Collaborative is one of the key skills you must have. You must be the type of person that can approach and be approached. You can work with different type of people. You shouldn't be the type of person that shy person that can't talk, that can't stand up. You must be able to challenge things. Once things not right, you challenge it and you move forward. Be that friendly person that everybody would like to work with, and be humble. No reason of shoulder. Don't be arrogant. Nothing there. You just guiding every member of the team has one role or the other to play. You are playing your own, and don't see yourself as, oh, I'm on top of the world. No. Cool-minded person, enthusiastic person, very honest. Honesty is one of the key things that will make you to be successful as a Scrum Master. Honesty in being realistic with facts. I've worked on a project where someone said to me, Abdul, this task will take me 2 days. That is 15 hours. And I look at it. I said, 15 hours. I said, please, can you be realistic with this? He said, that's all it's going to take me. Then I know he's lying, because something, you just need to go to the back end. There's something we call back end and front end in development. Just need to go to back end and change this Scrum Master. If you look at my background, we have Scrum Master. It's colored blue. Change that blue to red, or change it to pink, or to any color. How could that take you 2 days? That's a lie. You wasting time. This shouldn't take you more than 5-10 minutes to do. Just go in there, log in, and highlight it. Click on the choosing color, and it's done. So if someone is now telling you it's going to take two weeks, and I say, okay, that's okay. By the time they review your performance, they review the project, you'll be in soup, because they're not going to hold him responsible. They'll be holding you responsible, because as a Scrum Master, it's your role and responsibility to look into it and be honest with yourself. Is it possible? If you don't have the knowledge, throw it back to people you think that can look. There is something we call level of effort in Agile. During training, I'll explain that to you. That is when the team member will give you the hours or time to take them to execute a task. So at that particular point in time, if they are not realistic, they are not honest with it, it's going to number one, it's going to increase the cost, the timing of the project as well. So those are the 3 factors I mentioned earlier that you need to be very, very consistent with, and be conscious of what people are telling you. You don't need to know it all, but if you don't have the knowledge about what they are talking about, please kindly talk to someone higher and ask for their honest opinion on it. Have a sense of wonder. Be the type of person that can come up with something very proactive, very wonderful, that can say, oh, can you help us do this? Is this possible to be done? And give an idea about what you know. Agile-minded. Agile-minded in the sense that you need to be very, Agile is all about flexibility. It's all about agility. That you can be able to get things out, done within reasonable time, and be flexible with whatever you're working on. Rigidity is not part of Agile. Servant leadership. That's what I've said. A servant leader looks to the needs of the people and asks himself how he can help them to solve problems and promote personal development. Part of what he does is mediate, and you listening. You do what? You listen a lot. Listen to people. Hear them out. See where you can help them. Empathy. Put yourself in their shoe. Feel what they're feeling. That makes you a good leader. Always lead. Don't always be a leader. Don't be a manager. Awareness. Be aware of what is going on. Be a foresight person and persuasion. I know I'm giving 5 minutes. Sorry. Okay. If you have all this, then you can count yourself to be a good Scrum Master. You can now decide today that, yeah, I think I can do this. Yeah, I think I'm good to be a good Scrum Master. I'm good to be effective Scrum Master. Number one, are you adept at influencing people? Are you the type of person that can influence the decision of people? Are you the type of person that can convince, not confuse people to say, okay, can you look at it this way? What about this? How about this? What about if we do it this way? How do you think it will be like? Are you passionate to delight customers? Because one of the basic things you need to have at the back of your mind is called customer satisfaction, which is the utmost for every product, for every task you've been given. That's where the quality comes in, the timing and the cost comes in. You want to get the product out there as soon as possible for the customer to benefit from it. Let's say, for instance, Salah just passed by now, a few days ago, or yesterday, or thereabout. And someone now coming out and say, we're doing Salah sales of RAM. It's that tough. You should be thinking about that before Salah and start doing the promo. Look at what can benefit your customers. What can bring more customers to our platform? What can enhance or increase the return on our investment? Not just getting things out, but getting something very quality out there in a timely manner. Timely manner comes in. If you are doing a Salah sales now, of course it's late. The Salah sales is supposed to could have come out earlier before commencement of Salah. Do you have the relevant domain experience on which the team working upon? Yeah. It might be necessary. It might be very, very good if you have it. But sometimes you develop the domain knowledge as you're working on the project. Not all projects you must have experience on. But your ability to think out of the box, your ability to adapt to new things, your ability to learn as quick as possible is very, very important. If you are the type that within a short period of time, yeah, you can adopt, you can change, you can learn, you can pick things quickly, then it's good for you. You don't need to have the domain knowledge. I've worked on a lot of projects I've never come across before, but I jump in, I start learning things, go on Google, pick myself up and start learning even before the project. I was assigned a project. I will be assigned a project next week, but they've told me they will be giving me a project and they named the project. What I did was I quickly start looking around who has worked on the project before, what the project is all about. I realized someone has worked on it. I called the person and said, please, can I have a catch up within 5-10 minutes with you so that you can tell me what you know about this? And the person did that. Within 10 minutes, she gave me what she has done. And I look at it and as well went online as well, do a lot of research myself, ready for the project to come in. So when the project commences, I'm already on top of it. When they're talking, you must be type of the person that can contribute. Don't just keep quiet and keep silent there, looking at them talking. At the end of the day, say goodbye, goodbye, everybody, goodbye. No. Are you driven by the motive of serving your team? Are you the type of person that's ready to serve, not to be served? You're not the type of person that will just sit down there. Yeah, when you have problem, you come to me. If you don't come to me, then I believe you don't have problem. You must be sitting down. You must be looking at what they're doing. Sometimes I will stand up and be walking around and see my dev working. I say, is everything okay? Can I get you a cup of tea? Can I get you this? Can I get you that? You doing that to make sure everything's, you building relationship with them. But sitting down, just looking at them, let them continue doing what they want. And if they have any problem, if they don't say it in the daily Scrum meeting, that's all. No. You go around, you talk to them, see if there's any issue. I mean, they're trying to they're facing, you can pick it up and say, okay, don't worry, continue with what you're doing. Let me get it sorted for you. Do you understand Scrum very well? That's one thing you need to do. You need to bring yourself up to understand what Scrum means. That's by going for training. Get certified. It's one of the profession that you need to be certified before you've been recognized. You might say, oh, I've seen a lot of people, they say, I have agile experience. Okay. Ask them one or two questions. You say they only know the word agility, but what does it mean in real terms? Because I'm not going to ask you what is an agile. I'll throw a question to you and ask you to tell me what happened. How do you handle it as a Scrum Master? That's where I will get to know if actually you know what Scrum is all about. So the way to get that done is for you to go for training and be certified. Certification on that area is very, very important. Some profession, they might tell you, you don't need certification. This, they need certification, and it's very easier to get if you were trained by profession, by good organization. Who can be a Scrum Master? It's a question. And I said, anyone with the right skills, with the right mindset and training is possible for anyone to become a Scrum Master, provided you get the training. To become a Scrum Master, you don't need prior experience. But obtaining a certification, gaining practical experience in leading a team, agile team, is very important. Understand all the ceremonies. That's the basic of it. Understand all the ceremonies. Know what it means, how it's been adopted, when it's been adopted, what happened, what are the outcomes, what are the deliverables at each one, what is expected from you as a Scrum Master. Once you familiarize yourself with this, you get yourself with all this. And you have a very strong, excellent communication skill, both oral and written. You have a facilitation skills and leadership skill. I said, you are a servant leader. You are not a manager. You don't manage, but you lead people. You guide them to get the product done. If anything goes wrong, you'll be held responsible for it, because the product owner seeing you as is a face to the project team. So if anything goes wrong, you are there to face the product owner, who is responsible for the stakeholders, or who is acting as a product stakeholders. So ability for you to lead, facilitate, and communicate with the team is very, very important. Lastly, I'll say this: the coolest job is Scrum. You don't need a lot to do. What you just need to do are those things I've mentioned. Talk to people, guide them, ready to jump up, around for them, get the issue resolved, and move. And get the project moving. No delay on the project. Because the more the project delays, you get penalized for it. They raise points on you and say, how do you manage the first project? How do you manage the second project? Like every agile framework has what we call sprint retrospective. At that's where they're going to identify you as a very effective agile Scrum Master or not agile Scrum Master. So, cool job, alert, and I wish you the best. Thank you all.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, Mr. Koko. Like I said before you started speaking, now I said res ipsa loquitur, that the fact speaks for itself. And I want to believe for everybody on this platform. So you have listened, and you have listened attentively. So for what Mr. Ablative Kuku has delivered, so there is no doubt about the fact that this expert in the field. So, because it is not easy to speak continuously, you understand, without hitches, you understand, a hitch-free delivery for over 30 minutes. So he was given 30 minutes, and you can see he had spent almost an hour already. So if we had wanted him to speak for 30 minutes originally, in my own opinion, I would have said we give you only 15 minutes, because I know the stuff he has given. So he has not given just the taster. He has even given you a very big bite. So before we go into the question and answer, because that is what holds everybody now. So before we go into that, I think in the course of the delivery of the lecture, our secretary, I think she has posted it on the chat box that if you want to register, and I want to believe now, like according to what he said, that you are not confused, you are convinced that we have the stuff to deliver for you. So based on what you have listened to, and we want to get your feedback as well. So the registration is open and the link has been sent on the chat box. Can you please check the link? Because the training begins in 3 weeks' time and it runs for 3 weeks, 3 weekends. So by God's grace, every information required, you understand, the link, and anybody that wants to contact us, you can contact the phone number that is on the adverts that will be sent out to each and every one of us today. And as well, our email, you can contact us via email. But like I said initially, before Mr. Ablatif started speaking, I said we have the team, but I will not do that one like bringing, it's sent by Ms. Olajobi. Check the chat box. Somebody's asking, okay, somebody said they joined late. So Ms. Olajobi, can you please repost the link for each and every one of us as I'm talking? So that will be highly appreciated. Thank you. So, like I said, that as we have Mr. Ablatif Kuku, the CEO, speaking, introduced before, he was the only one, because at this point, before going into the day's business, so we have to introduce Mr. Ablatif just for us to go, because there was no time for us to waste. So at this point now, I will introduce as well to you our project director in person of Mr. Lawal Salman, as well as the education training manager in person of Mr. Taiwo Azan. Our secretary is Ms. Ganiat Olajobi. And my humble self, my name is Muftawa Agoro, so the deputy CEO. Now, if we can go into the question and answer sessions. For anybody that has a question, can you please do so by raising your hand, and will be recognized. Or as well, you can type in the chat box. I will look at it as well and read the question out. So I want to believe everybody has seen the link again. The link has been reposted. So for registration. And after this, because we don't want mix up, we have as well business analyst training to become a business analyst, business analysis. So that one also will come thereafter the completion of this training. Okay. Oh, the first question I'm seeing here is that I have somebody that says, can we get the slide?
Yeah, we're going to post the taster recording on our YouTube page. There you see the slide as well there. So they will share the YouTube page with you, and you can go in there and listen to the today's presentation.
So that question was from Mr. Tajuddin Olushesi. And there has been response as well from Ms. Ganiat Olajobi that it will be posted on the company's YouTube channel. So look out for that on our YouTube channel. So thank you very much. So is there any other question? So you can raise your hand. Okay. I can see Mr. Agoro Ibrahim. So go ahead with your question, Mr. Agoro Ibrahim.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I hope I'm audible enough. Can everyone hear me? Hello, am I in now?
Yeah.
Yes,
We can hear you.
Yes, you are recognized.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for the robust presentation, sir. We very much enjoyed it. I have some couple of questions I've put together here that I wanted to ask. Actually, some of the questions are kind of interwoven, but yet I will try as much as possible to put them out sequentially. Number one, during the process of the presentation, you mentioned that while the project is going on, that if an expertise is needed, the Scrum Master can bring someone in who is needed in the team as part of the team. At the same time, you also mentioned that the Scrum Master does not have the ability, or should I say, is not within the purview of the Scrum Master to hire and fire, that all that belongs to the HR of the, should I say the company now, or I wouldn't know. So now I want to ask, if the Scrum Master needs somebody that is needed to be brought into the team in order to get the project executed, and he is the one that knows the ability of that person that can do the job. He actually knows the person that can do what he needed to be done in the team, and he wanted to bring that person in. So how does the Scrum Master go about it? Will he be the one to bring him in, or as you have said that it is the HR that has the power to hire? So will he need to write the HR to bring that person in form of a recommendation now? And at the same time, what if the HR refuses to bring such person in, and that person is actually the person that is needed by the Scrum Master to get the work done? So how will you go about it? That is the first one. Secondly, sir, if you don't want somebody in the team, maybe you already have a team already and you're working together, and you are seeing somebody as a sabotage, or that person is like a lag, is drawing the team back, and you want that person to be removed. How do you go about it? Can you just remove that person willingly as a Scrum Master, or you still need to get how do I put it now, to contact the HR to get the person removed? That's the second one. The third one, the team that you talked about, when you started the presentation, like you mentioned an example of siting a building, or like you want to build a shopping mall, and you said some team will be sent out to go for a survey, like get a good, very good location where the building will be put. So that kind of a team, who put the team together? Is it the product owner that will give you the team to work with, or you be the one to set the team together that will work with you? So that is the next one. I don't know if you are trying to note the question, sir, because I still have
Yeah.
Can I go ahead, sir?
Okay, let me quickly answer these 4 questions because I have 4 questions there. Then maybe that might.
Hello, sir. Maybe I should just run through the remaining ones so that I don't know if they are if you can use one.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
All right, sir. So in a situation where the Scrum Master is not an expert in the field of the project, for instance, now, maybe someone does not have a deep knowledge when it comes to construction, and the project you want to work upon is a construction project. Then you now have maybe some issues arises, as I have said, that the Scrum Master also in the position to resolve some issues within the team. Then one of the team members raised an issue, maybe like some problem that might be facing while trying to carry out some activities in the project. Meanwhile, this person is not well grounded in the aspect of construction, and the project is construction based. So how does the person go about it if he doesn't have the knowledge and they want him to come and resolve some questions within the team for them? So another additional question that is close to that is that in a situation, this question I just asked about now, because I remember that you also mentioned something like if you don't have a knowledge of something, you can as well contact somebody who you think have worked on the project before to seek for their advice or how they have gone about it to make sure that they were successful while carrying out the project. So in such situations, sir, if you try to contact somebody that knows better or who have worked upon the project before, while contacting that person, and that person is just trying to take it as a consultancy issue. Like you said, please, can I just have maybe 20 minutes of your time? I need to ask you some questions. And that person I felt like this is my area of expertise. So I want to take it as a consultancy job. And that person is trying to charge you for the question you're asking. Say like 500,000, like you're going to take 500,000 for my time. I can't just give the information out for you because this project you want to do now, you want to get some money from me. So how do you go about that? Are you going to pay that person from your personal purse, or you are going to get back to the product owner and just make the person realize that some unexpected costs have just arisen, so I needed to add it to the cost of the project? How do you go about it, sir? So those are the questions. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, you're welcome, Mr. Ibrahim. Let me start from the last one, consultancy fee. Yeah, of course, if you don't have it, you get it. No matter how much it costs you, you have to get it. Because what you need to do is to weigh in. If I don't get this thing, what's the impact does it have on the project? You're working on a project of 200 million and you need a knowledge, or you need something from someone that will cost you 500 or 1,000. You do the mathematics yourself. You don't have the expertise. I work on a project where we get to a level that we all get stuck. And we start asking ourselves, what do we need to do? The dev manager now said there is someone in so place that he knows that I've done this thing before. So as a Scrum Master, let me start with this. Let me give you a scenario, how it works in real life. As a Scrum Master, you are just there, like I said, servant leader. You are not the one managing the team. Like you remember I said you are not a line manager. You are not managing the team. In a normal sense, let's look at software development life cycle. We have the development team. And development team always have what we call development manager, the manager that manages the development team. In some cases, we may have front end, like I said earlier, I said dev team. They divided into two. We have front end and we have back end. We might have a back end line manager. We might have front end line manager. Now, those developer working on that product report to that manager. If there's any issue, being a Scrum Master, if you identify or they report a problem to you, you pick that up. You don't have the knowledge about what they're doing. You don't need to have knowledge about how they code or what they do with their coding. No. Immediately they tell you, I get this problem. I don't know how to go about it. We pick that issue up, go to their manager, because the manager must be grounded to know what the team is working on. If the manager is not grounded to know what the team is working on, the manager should be able to provide solution or look for solution somewhere. It's not on you. What you just need to do is for you to make sure there is a solution for that person. Where the solution comes from is what you're going to get for him. Go around, ask people, this is the problem. Because the line manager, let's say for instance, I'm the line manager working on I'm the line manager for front end. And you're working on a project, you need two front end developers. I will assign two front end developers to that project. Now, if any one of them has any issue, you as a Scrum Master, you pick it up, you come to me and say, Mr. Kuku, these are the things I got from your guys. Or mainly, at times, those guys might have communicated that issue to their manager and say, we are facing this problem. We can't go ahead with this. So the manager might come in, help them to solve it. Or if the manager does not have the expertise, the manager needs to provide solution. That's where the issue of consultancy comes in. Now, when I was working on that project, we realized we got to a point, a very big blocker. None of our developers have ever worked on that environment or ever worked. So the line manager now said he remember he seen something like that in a previous workplace, that there was this consultant somewhere that can do it. And what you need to do as a Scrum Master is, okay, he has given you the name of that person. You go back to the product owner and now say, okay, he's giving you the name, contact the product owner, explain the problem. That's why I say you need to communicate. You need to go back to the product owner and say, these are the issues we're facing now. But when I discussed with the line manager told me these are the solutions we need to provide. Okay, he will now give you instruction to go and consult that consultant. You have the discussion with the consultant, talk to the consultant, get every information you need. How long is it going to take? How much is it going to charge? Are you getting me? That was happened on that live project I'm telling you now. Now, you get that, you relate that back to the product owner. It's none of your business. Just get it to the product owner. That's why I say any issue you can't resolve, don't hold to it. Give it back to the product owner. The product owner has responsibility to go back to the hiring team, to the HR, and talk to the HR that I need so person on this project. What the HR will ask me, do you have allocation? Do you have money to pay the consultant? He said, yes, I have the money from the project, because there will be amounts, cost allocated to that project. Now the consultant said, I'm going to be charging you £200 per hour. So how many hours is he going to work? He's going to work 20 hours. You calculate that and give it to the product owner. The product owner will now be the one to get that person and bring it in. Like I said earlier, until when they get the person in, the developer will be relaxing. So for any expertise you don't have, I'm now going back to the issue of not the third line, the third one where you say not an expert on that knowledge. You don't have the knowledge of it. If you don't have knowledge on it, you must get someone to provide that knowledge, because without that, the product will not go to conclusion. So either you have it within your team or you get an external person in to come in and do it for you. Now, going back to who formed the team. Now, what happens is this. When a project initiation comes in, now the sprint has now been decided, okay, we're going to implement this sprint. The first thing that will come in as this product, that will be discussion within Scrum Master and product owner. The product owner will come to you and say, oh, Mr. Ibrahim, this is the product. We pick the product being picked from the backlog. Remember when I show you let me, I think I'm still sharing my screen. Let me go back there. Okay, here. Now, the product owner will pick it from the product backlog and have a discussion with you as a Scrum Master and say, this is what we need to work on. At that particular point in time, as a Scrum Master, what you need to do is for you now to pick those you know or within the team that, okay, what do we need to do? It's a software, let's say software development, okay, like construction of a building. Of course, you firstly think about architect. Which architect do you know? I know Mr. So is an architect. We need civil engineer. Who do you know? That name will start coming up because you will be identifying those you need for implementation. Now, they are the ones that will now come up on board and now tell you, okay, I need so number of bricklayers. I need so number of this. Those are the ones that will work with them. You don't need have anything to do them. What you just need to do is identify, like I said in software development cycle, you identify, okay, we need to develop this thing. What do we need? Call all the developers line managers. Please, we need to discuss this. Is their task to now look at the project and now tell you, this project is not front end, it's just back end. So immediately they say it's back end. The line manager for front end will withdraw immediately because it doesn't concern him. Are you getting me? Because him being there is a cost to the project. Are you getting me? So it will withdraw. So the issue has to do with back end alone. But if it's going to be back end and front end, the line manager mostly are not responsible to carry out the task. They'll pick from their team someone to be assigned to do the task for them. So what you just do as a Scrum Master is for them to tell you, Mr. Ibrahim, Mr. Ablatif will be working as a front end. Mr. Mustafa will be working as a back end. Mrs. So will be working as a tester. This person, they'll give you all the names. Those names given to you, now you now develop a com to them and say, write to them and say, okay, CC their manager and say, we are initiating a project called so. Your name has been nominated by your manager, so we would like to invite you to a stand-up meeting, so time. So they will all be invited. Apart from sending the communication to them, sending it to them, that's just on the evidence. One-on-one, you identify them and go to them. I've sent an email to you. Have you received it? So you should be the type of person that will always stand up. I've sent an email to you. Have you received it? We'd like to meet with you. We're working on this project. So they will all come in and now have discussion. There are lots of things going on. In the training, I'll be able to emphasize on, tell you what and what will happen, what discussion, what question will be asked. Now, about sabotage. It's a normal practice. If you see anyone within your team that's impediment, that's causing delay, that's not ready to be a team player, you get him out. Look, there are, maybe in the training, I wanted to show you one diagram. There's a tree full of beautiful mangoes. And there's this one particular mango that is rotting. If you leave that rotting mangoes there, it will spoil the rest of the mangoes. What you need to do is unplug that rotting mango and throw it away, so the other will be well. So if you identify someone that's been an hindrance to the progress of the project, you take it out. What do you need to do as a product owner? I mean, as a Scrum Master, is for you to recommend. Firstly, remember, they don't report to you, they report to someone. The tester report to the tester manager, the developer report to their manager, whoever you're using. You are not their line manager. They have their line manager. What you just need to do is identify that person and report him or her to the manager. I've done something like that in the past. What happened was this guy, I was working on the project. This is a racist guy. The first day I came in there, they told him, this is your Scrum Master. He felt so big that how can this guy be leading us here? I'm not a leader, I'm a servant leader. Get that right. So each time I talk to him, if I had same level of effort, he will either give me or decide to write it or just have this nonchalant attitude, not listening to any instruction. If you're coming to a stand-up meeting, and he will back me. He won't face me, he will back. So that was a task he's supposed to do. First thing you need to acknowledge is that me assigned to you. Yeah, give me your level of effort. He never said anything. So what I did was I escalated. I firstly called him as I'm expecting you to respond back to the email I sent to you. He said, okay. First day. The next day, I called him again. I said, I've not seen anything done on the project, because there's a progress report you have to be given every day on the project, where you've worked, what you've done. He never submitted anything. Then I called the line manager. I reported him to the line manager. The line manager, and I gave the line manager ultimatum. I always work with timeline. I gave the line manager ultimatum. Please, can you help us mute, please? So I gave the line manager an ultimatum, and the line manager said, I'll see to it. He never see to it. The next thing is I escalated it to the director. That is the role of a Scrum Master. You can't fire him. You can't do anything to him. So you just escalate it, and they will deal with it. It's their problem. It's not your problem. But what you need to do is to be able to identify such person and report him, so that if anything goes wrong, you are not going to be blamed for it. You are not going to be held responsible. You can say, we didn't get this thing done because of so person. And I reported him as so. Even reporting at the second day was too late. Was too late. So hiring and firing, you are not responsible. If you identify, you are not even the one to identify. The line manager will tell you that, okay, I work on a project where we say we need to form a team to do this. They will look at the project holistically and be honest with themselves. It's not about you, it's about them. If they got it wrong, the blame is on them, not on you. So they will now tell you the number of developers they need, the number of effort they need, the number of hours they need. What you just need to do is calculate it and pass that to the product owner to tell the product owner how much it will cost them, because every team member you use per day, there's a cost implication to that. If I'm giving you one BA might be equivalent to £500 per day. If I'm giving you 3 front-end developers, each one of them might be 400 per day or 600 per day. So you need to do the calculation and send it to the product owner. So the product owner will know how much it's going to cost. And the product owner can relate that to the cost of the cost assigned to the project. So if they do the calculation, they now realize we are having 10 million and the cost assigned to the project is 5 million. Of course, it's not going to go anywhere. So the product owner have to make the call, not you. What you just need to do is pass the message to him. That's why you have servants there within them. They will identify who they need and who they need to fire. If they need a particular team member, they will look at it, okay, for this project, we need 5 developers. How many developers do we have? We only have 4, so we need 1. How do we get 1? Do we hire someone or we contract it out for external to outsource it? You can outsource a lot of companies does that. You just tell them you need the front-end developer from them to join your team. They can bring them in as a consultant to work with you, or they can work remotely, they work. Your own is to make sure you communicate that message to whoever that will be needed, that will need the information, and sit back and make sure everything is done. You don't sit down, but ensure that that is implemented. You can fire and you can hire, but you can make recommendation. I answer all your questions? Mr. Ibrahim?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you have. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kuku. There have been loads of questions, sent on the chat box, but I will just read out, and in the course of your response, I think some of them have been answered. But let me read out from Mr. Alibioshu Farouk. He says, will it be an advantage if one has experience in project management before one can be a Scrum Master? 2, is the template the Scrum Master will be working with a ready-made software or a prepared template by Scrum Master? 3, should we then say Scrum Master is synonymous with software testing? And lastly, who does a Scrum Master report to, or who oversees a Scrum Master? Thank you. So,
okay, let me.
Before Mr. Kuku answers that question, sorry, please. Can you please, everybody on the platform, can you please drop your email and your contact number? Please drop it in the chat box. So, okay, Mr. Kuku, you can go ahead.
I think he has another question also. He has added another question to.
Okay, yes. Yeah. He says, can we have more than one Scrum Master in a project? Then please, about the training, do you assist your trainee to get hired or employed, knowing fully well that he has no UK or US experience in Scrum Master? So
okay, I think, Mr. Ago, let me just pick the question one by one. I think I can see it here. Can we have more than one Scrum Master in the project? Is that where it starts from?
No,
okay.
Before, prior to that, there was a question which I read earlier.
Okay, let me take it from here because I think there are a lot of questions here. Okay. Would it be an advantage if one has experience in project management before one can be a Scrum Master? Of course. It's an added advantage if you have experience in project management. Of course, is to sound you better because you already know the rudiments of project management. You know what and what you need to do. You familiar yourself with the with a lot of templates. But the only difference there is this: in Agile, they don't work much on they don't work more on documentation. They work more on the projects. Is project deliverable likely than the documentation? I don't know, maybe you understand what I mean. In normal waterfall, documentation comes in first before the implementation. In Agile, they call it work in progress, a live documentation. As you are moving on, getting things done, you be documenting it. Mostly, the document might not be even be ready until when the product is ready to go to the market. That's when you get it done. Unlike traditional ways of working, you get every requirement done, sign up, then pass it on, then you sit down. Business analyst does that. But in Agile, they don't do that. They keep on working alongside the project is going on. Now, having the project management experience will help you and be able, just need little bit of twist around there for you to now know that, okay, this is what, and the framework is a bit different. The methodology or the means of deliverables are different, and deliverable itself are different from the normal conventional project management framework. Is the template the Scrum Master will be working with a ready-made software or a prepared template? Now, there are lots of templates there that you can use. There are lots of templates there, but like I said, they don't work much on documentation, because the documentation is done by business analysts. What they do is to just guide and move around. Where the documentation comes in, mainly like the comms I talk about now, there's any impediment, you try to, and when you are capturing the lesson learned, there's a template for that. Lesson learned, you capture that, and there's something we call what I want to call this, I forgot the name, that you captured every steps. If there's any issue, no, that's a lesson learned template. You put it there. Apart from that, you don't use template. Most of the templates are being handled by business analysts, not you as a person. So what you will need mainly is a retrospective template. Will it be an advantage if one has experience? Oh, no, sorry. Should we then say Scrum Master is synonymous with software testing? Software testing is a sub of software development lifecycle. Software testing is a part of software development cycle. But a Scrum Master sees to the whole process of SDLC, software development lifecycle. Software testing is just part of what the Scrum Master take care of. Like I said, it started from project ideation. Now the project implementation, and once it gets to testing, the Scrum Master will be there as well. Manage the development team. Once development team is ready, push it to the testing environment for the tester to start working on. The Scrum Master will be there as well, monitoring the testers to see if there's any issue, if there's anything for them to pick, and actually they are testing what is supposed to test. Ability for the Scrum Master to have that experience is very crucial as well. If you have experience in any form of this cycle, it's very good. It will pay you at the end of the day. If you have ever been a tester before, of course, if you have ever been a tester before, definitely you must know what they call DevOps operations. So if you have ever been a DevOps before, you definitely must have experience about what you call testing environment. If you have ever been a business analyst before, of course, you must probably have experience of all this, what I'm talking about. But the overall, the Scrum Master sees to everything there. And lastly, who does the Scrum Master report to, or who oversees a Scrum Master? Scrum Master report to the product owner. The Scrum Master report to the product owner. So everything you do, you report back to him, because he's the one representing the stakeholders. Okay. Does that answer Mr. Libish's question? Okay, he has another one here. Can we have more than one Scrum Master in a project? No. What happened is this. Let me answer your question this way. A project, we have some projects that are very complex projects. If we look at that, yeah, we can have more than one Scrum Master on that project. Because sometimes there might be a project that's very big. Like I'm working on a project now. It's a very big project that will take nothing less than 3 to 4 years to implement. Now, under that project, it's now divided into series of sprints. Understand that? Divided into series of sprints. So each sprint is being managed by a Scrum Master. So in that sense, we have more than one Scrum Master handling it on that overall project. But within that sprint, we only have one Scrum Master. But is it possible? Another question I want you to ask is it possible for a Scrum Master to be assigned to more than one sprint? Of course. You can be assigned to more than one sprint if they know you have the capability. They can give you this project to work, this sprint to work on, and give you another sprint to work on. So in that sense, you'll be managing more than one.
Thank you very much. Mr. Kuku.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, there's another question, please. He said, please, about the training. Do you assist your training to get hired employee knowing fully well that he has no UK experience in Scrum Master? Yeah, what we do is this, because we can't promise you what we won't do. What we do is this, we send out the job adverts we see, or some job advert do come to us that, do you have anyone to recommend? If you have actually get trained and you're certified, of course, we send it to you, and we know you're trained by us, you certified by us, we send it to you, because when anything goes wrong, is our reputation at stake. Like, for instance, I got a lot of something like that. People will say, Abdul, do you have someone to recommend? If I'm recommending you, then I'm sure you know what you're doing. Apart from that, on job support is there. Once you get the job, we support you. If you're working on a project, if you have any issue, you call us. If you're working on a project, you call us that you have this project, what do? We guide you. Do this, don't do this, don't do this. We tell you what to do and what not to do. And even before hiring, we train you. Job interview, if you have an job interview, we train you, we teach you on how to answer the question, because mostly it's going to be scenario-based question. Like, it will go around. I said 4. There are 5 ceremonies that you have to go through, that you need to know very well what you do there, what is your role, what the role of others. How does their own role impact yours? How does their impact theirs as well? So we train you on that and prepare you with everything you need to be successful at the interview. Okay.
Thank you very much. So somebody was asking, when is the training? So let me answer that. The training will commence on the 22nd of July. That will be exactly in 3 weeks' time, and it runs for 3 weekends. So between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. So the first day will be July 22nd, Saturday, July 22nd. The second day will be Saturday, July 29th, and the third one will be August 5th, 2023. So
sorry, let me add to that.
Okay.
On that Thursday, that's when you're going to, because this training, the cost you see there includes your certification as well. This is the cheapest ever. We include the cost of certification. So once you register with us, you are sure you're going to have your certification done. That's the last day. You're going to sit on you can do it anywhere. You can do it from home, or you can arrange if you're closer to us here in the UK. If you're not in the UK, you can do it anywhere. We send you the link, you do the exam, and you get your certification if you're from a recognized institution in the US.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kuku. So yes, I'm not an orator like you. So, and the way you've been talking, because like I was saying that I was going into that detail, but thank you for helping me out. So, and somebody even asked, and the question has been answered, that how much is it in Naira? So the equivalent of that £400 is what we charge in Naira. So we want to be fair to all and sundry. So because we cannot say because we are in Nigeria, you have to pay so Naira. But if you can get the equivalent, it all depends, because the economy, the instability in the economy, that is why we peg it on the pound sterling. That, okay, the training is coming from UK, but because, every other thing varies. But if it is charged in pound sterling, we know it is £400 sterling. So we might be lucky, or some people, if you can get the payment through the bank, you may go through the bank. If you say you want to do it through the training, let the money be sent to our UK account. So you give it to the bank. So it's a company's account. So if a bank in Nigeria can transfer that £400 for you, you may get it at a cheaper rate at the bank rate. So, but we want to keep that for stability as well. So please bear with us. We cannot be saying, because some people will say, oh, I can change it, the pound sterling, and I get it for $900 something, so I get it for 1,000 Naira. So, sorry, excuse me, $900 naira, excuse my language, dollar, I'm shouting. So they may say it's 940 naira, or some people might say it's 960. And the bank, they say the bank rate is about 500 and something or 600 and something. So, but if you can get the equivalent through the bank that you want to pay, so the link will be sent and the bank account. So if Nigerian bank can do the transfer and pay it into our account, you know, like everything now, the world is a global village. So if we can take advantage of that, so our own equivalent of £400, just the £400 is paid into our own hard currency. It is paid as 400 flat for everybody. So thank you for that. So before we go into conclusion, so any team member, is there anything that we want to add to what we have done, or the information, any other information? Ms. Olajobi, is there any other addition to the information given? So is there any other thing you have to say before we round up? Mr. Taiwo.
No, at the moment.
Okay. So may I call on Mr. Salman?
No, someone is asking a question.
Okay.
This is a ladder. I'm so much impressed, but sir, can we pay instrumentally if I pay up now and pay the balance at the end of the payment before I take the certification?
That is a management answer, but let me say, let me not take the full responsibility. But what I will say now is that if a payment, if we have, if you are going to pay twice, but before the exam is taken, that has to be paid. Before the last day of the lecture, I think that has to be paid. So, and you can get in touch with us after the program. So we can work on that. But let us just say that, like you have said that, oh, before taking that. So it could be paid on installment. Thank you very much. So okay, let me see. I think I'm seeing, send your information, send me to info@email, to send your mail to info@abkglobalgroup.com. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. So may I call on Mr. Lawal Salman to give us vote of thanks. Thank you. Mr. Salman, sir, are you there? You are muted if you are there. Mr. Salman, over to you, sir.
Okay, good day, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Yeah. First of all, very, very big thank you to our facilitator for that wonderful presentation. I must say, speaking for every one of us, if I borrow from my colleague's words earlier, he said to you that promise you a tester. Mr. Kuku has managed to give you a very huge bite of what you are offering. And I think it's a happy bite from what you have heard so far. And that's just iceberg. The iceberg is very much under the sea. You cannot see much of it. We are looking forward to you registering and then getting to, to have access to the whole of the Bible. This training is what every professional needs today. world has gone agile in many ways. Agile in thinking, agile in action, agile in attitude. And that is because we are in a competitive world. We want to see things happen and happen very fast. That is what agile is all about. So you also notice that we're giving you two related trainings. Business analysis on one hand, and today we've introduced this Scrum Master application to the mix. Between these two, I want to tell you that you are getting great value from us. And Agile is about value to an organization, and also customer experience at the same time. So I want to convince you, I believe you are convinced already that you have made the right decision to join this training. And I believe that in the very short course, you come to agree that you've taken the right decision, and you will be the better for it. So once again, congratulations to every one of us who has attended, and to the team who have facilitated this. We can only get better. And today has been very, very engaging. I really appreciate the engagement. You can hear Mr. Adeyemi Aguru with all his many questions. I told myself this man paid attention, and that is what we want to see. And I can't wait to have you in the training, and the same for every other person. So congratulations, and we look forward to having you in the near future. Thank you again, once again, and goodbye for now.
Thank you.
Thank all. Thanks for.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation.
You're welcome.
Assalamu alaikum, Abu. Mo record now.